Yeah, I think I have a lot of pistols. Anyway, hey everybody, what's up? This is hopefully a adjusted for everything Retrokid reviews. Doing a quick loadout overhaul of, well, the newest thing in the N Strike, well now, N series. So yeah, this is the only pistol I think I have in this line and the only blaster I have in this new line for the Nerf N series. So, rules of the road, I'm very much aware that almost everyone in the space had got a trip to Nerf HQ to get a rundown to why this new dart will be the foreseeable new dart type going forward, if I could just get this out. Also, rule of thumb here, this is the only two I have because of the packaging. We'll get to that in the proper review itself. Here it is. The N1 dart, and already for those who've had ultras in the past, you kind of know where that dart DRM is coming from. However, the reason why this is going to replace, hang on, do I have a regular streamlight? Yes, I do. Oh no, X shot, my apologies. And wow, I actually prepped for this. Better dart, ugh. Alright, for the sake of purposes, the streamline and more or less the full length. Long story short, yeah, that is... Wow. I really don't have the dart here. You think after all the prep I did getting these pistols here, whatever. Long story short, the biggest draw for this is that tiny little hole in the DRM here. Presumably, it does give you a, I don't know, 10 to 20 FPS boost. For the purposes of the fact that, like I said, these are the only two darts I have in my loadout for the channel. This Chrono has had a history of getting hit a lot and just racking up the FPS. And same can be said for the N Series Ward. But let's get to my thoughts on the overall new brand as a whole. I'm not the only one that's probably going to say the same thing, that the Elite Dart was out of date, out of focus, and more importantly, obsolete for about a couple of years now. And it's also, I am very much aware that Nerf has tried their best the last 4 of those years to basically replace it in any way they can. If it's anything like Elite, I'm probably jumping ahead of myself when it comes to the dart itself. This won't be the platform to rechamber it into like half lengths or cut downs. This does have a cut down guide. I highly recommend Vol Mods when he was doing the bigger brothers of this new line, the Infamous. Long story short there. And another thing they have a lot in common for the Ward's case is basically this double breach. I know this is a reskin for the Modulus with that stock attachment. I don't know if I did a review of it with the when I was doing retro review of the Rapid Strike. Go there just in case in the cards. And right away you can kind of tell the difference. It has, I think, a little bit more width than that. Is it just me going to be doing comparisons to pretty much another thing the Ward is going to be known for going on forward, being Smart AR? This is the Quadra, basically the older brother that is this guy's replacing, long story short. And you can definitely tell a difference. You're losing 2 barrels, which I've always thought was pretty much a good added feature. It was really decent, like pack up primary sidearm for pistol round. And for pistol rounds as a whole, you can definitely tell I love pistols in this hobby and more or less in this fandom when it comes to Nerf as a whole. I want to do one more comparison and my overall thoughts with just the N series as a whole. It's a good start. It's not, at the very least, Elite 2.0 bad. This is the Volt. I did a quick 60-second review. I think after the fact, yeah, I think I have to I think I have to figure out a rechamber, or I guess readjust the snap-on feature, which was the biggest problem for the Elite 2.0 at the time. Eventually, if you saw my Moto Blitz review, they did make it unscrewable, which was good for modders around the world, myself included. Another thing they've noticed, and because of that, yay, screw ports. Still no paint on the other Nerf logo, but hey, it's baby steps if anything else. I highly recommend, I want to say, Maritime Foam, and I want to say, Anna Darts' videos on the trip being there and explaining why this was long overdue. Speaking of the older and better brothers in this line, the Infinites, they had a whole spiel about why they couldn't do essentially Slamfire for that reason. I think they had to meet like a sound dampener test for like international audiences, not just here in the States. Another reason why the Dart DRM is like this is probably for choking hazard stuff they had to do. They were doing very long-winded business songs of why this had to be kid safe, and kid safe it is because it is in the A+ category. Now, I don't doubt that they'll try to experiment with this dart type and this new line to go into the 14 up category down the road with pro stuff. I don't think that, but maybe someday, who knows? So, with all my thoughts out of it, I don't know, it's got a lot of potential, and with that potential, let's get to the review itself. Starting off with the package, this is kind of originally how it was boxed, if I could recreate it. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, and I think my mother said it best of all people. It's the easiest, I want to say, not strings, probably have rubbery zip ties to cut out, and that might be an issue going with the future, I don't know, Walmarts or Targets of the world. So yeah, with the dart talk out of the way, what do I think of the blaster itself? For $5, this is the most entry level into this new platform, this new series of blasters. The big thing and the big draw, I think I'll preface myself, I think Maritime said it best with his reviews for the whole wave, is that this is meant for the kids that want to get into the hobby later down the road. There is mod potential, not so much for the Ward, but for later blasters down the road, like the Pinpoint and like another blaster's escaping me. I think the Bullpup, damn it, it's the other one that they didn't have out in stores yet, but I think is, I think they beta tested a lot. Go to, again, like I said, the Maritime store I'm talking about it. Speaking of him, he did say this is a decent entry for scavenger builds, especially in the pistol rounds. Definitely more so for the Infamous, for those who saw those reviews, and Val's quick mod are doing cut downs for the N-War dart itself. So, yeah, another thing, this is taking forever. I actually love the color scheme, weird as it is. It pairs kind of well, not with the original Aeon Pro, but definitely my previously reviewed Aeon Pro X. Go to the cards there, probably last cards coming up. So hopefully I can sacrifice a dart for the purposes of testing. I've come to notice that my Chrono basically loves the top shot, not the bottom shot. It just like gets hit the most. Again, blame my Chrono, not my testing. More or less, if you have to do both, I get you. Let's hope I do this right. 115. That's a little high because, like I said, a slight hit, probably a nick. But what little readings I got day before this recording. Yeah, I got it yesterday. That's why I'm a little scatterbrained here and need more coffee as always. But yeah, long story short, it is in the high 80s, low 70s. That's kind of where we hope is going to be the future of just this line in general if you want to keep it up with current stuff like, I don't know, half links. Yeah, it needed the 10 to 20 FPS boost. I know bigger blasters in this line are going to go probably in the high to low 90s, if anything, which again is industry standard at this point, and I kind of see where Nerf is going there. They want to catch up, and I feel like they catched up right. Now onto the blaster itself. It is kind of nice. It has like a backup pistol kind of vibes, but again, this is where the quad rod kind of shined, I think, the most. Maybe it's because of my body language, maybe because it was me getting used to the T-pull after so many years. However, I do see the kidification of it all because I also jealously always wanted to do King Ring mods since I want to say even my trusty Firestrike here, I've always wanted to keyring this, but if you know the history of my channel, this is rusted to death and it is impossible to reopen to this very day, but still hits probably harder than this, by not much, I'm going to be honest. And I also think my Chrono will love it the best, hopefully. So, with that all being said, I don't know, I love the grip. It's more tapered than I think it would be. Drag went on a whole spiel about the tapering of the grip. It's very confirming for my adult hands. I don't know where it is hands-wise. The trigger guard, I don't know if there's any springs in there. It's giving a confirming kind of look that it might be springed. I haven't opened the blaster itself. The biggest key feature I think everybody heard about going forward is, does this plunger assembly here look like a Jolt? Short answer, yes, but there is a good reason why. You can't unscrew them out and basically see, I think, most of the plunger in the spring. Another reason why they did the tab you saw with the dart is because there is no air restrictor pegs. Now, if you go to my quad rod, you can see that the pegs are still in there. The reason being because there wasn't really an exact way to get rid of the ARs while keeping the performance and keeping the Smart AR design of Elites at the time. Will that be the same case here for the Ward? I don't really know, but I know people have opened up this on Reddit, so I'll try to leave that post down below. If not, I'll leave the Nerf Reddit so you can get the internals at the very least. Ultimately, as a judgment call, I'm happy for the price before we get to the rating itself. For $5, you could not ask for a better blaster to be a sample size of what this line is going to be going in the future, where Nerf wants to go into the future. I can see the potential, and I think I said this in my community post yesterday as of you reading as coming into, I guess, future recordings and stuff like that. Schedule is all over the place, just saying right now, guys. Feeling that 90-degree heat aside, final ratings, more or less, it's not a 10. I'm going to say that out of the gate. It's a hard 8, maybe 7.5. It's a nice try. It's a nice start for Nerf. I'll say that at the very least. It's openable. There's still potentials for mods, especially in the back of the plunger right here. And the draw, since we finally got around to shooting, is very nice. And yeah, that pop is very confirming. It's telling you, to me at least, it has a lot more power than it looks. Mod potential is sort of close to in the middle. Like, again, if you've done AR mods in the past, maybe you can find a way to bypass that. If you want this to be a shotgun pistol and you want to get rid of the dart DRM, do the cut downs for the M1 darts, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna yuck your yum when it comes to mods though. However, the spring potential is pretty high. Now, it's spring potential to pretty much the last, decade and a half of sidearms of the past. So don't think you can just basically try to go full K25, K26. There are going to be bigger blasters in this line that have that potential. Again, go to Val's video showing the whole thing. Now, that being said, do you think you can pick this up? Do you want this blaster? Do you think that this is a worthy series? Me personally, I'm not wait and see. However, getting a feel for this blaster only on a 24-hour basis, this is just the most recency bias I think I've had for a blaster here on the channel. I can see the potential. I also see that, much like dart DRMs of the past, like Ultra, that this is probably going to get the most easily chambered when we get to, say, I don't know, a single shot instead of a multi-shot. And maybe Hasbro kind of knew it. Maybe they knew that for the power. Maybe they had to do that for a bunch of restrictions reasons. Again, that is up to them to explain in the comments down below, not me personally. Since you're in the comments, hi, by the way, what did you think of this review? What did you think of the blaster as a whole? What do you think of the N1 dart? Do you think this is the future of the hobby, or more importantly, the future for Hasbro? Again, I would love to know in the description down below. So with the drivers out of the way here for the end cards, right there to my previous short. Again, my dearest apologies, I'm still behind on TV. I'm going to try to do The Boys, hopefully later this weekend, just to catch up on TV. And other shot over here to hopefully next week's short for the reacts for the live show for Critical Role. As of this recording, I have yet to see the taping itself, hence why this is everything is getting a little rushed around here. My apologies in advance. And yeah, notification bell down below, sub to the channel, and with a very cooked Retrokid review saying, I think you got a winner here, Hasbro. You just need to do a little bit more communication with the community next time, and maybe, just maybe, you got something. So until then, take care, subscribe, and hey, you can't say no to $5, right?